Today, we're going to talk about geocaching and why I think you should try to do this activity at least once in your life. But what exactly is geocaching, and why do I think it's such a great activity? Well, I asked that question myself when I first heard the term back before the pandemic. I was just doom scrolling through one of my social media platforms and I saw several people posting what essentially looked like a treasure hunt game. I remember thinking that it was a cool activity but didn't really put too much attention to it. Then the pandemic hit and I had long forgotten it. Fast forward years later in 2024, and that's when I went on my first geocaching run. And I can tell you that it's a feeling like no other I've felt before. If it's your first time here, my name is Vander and welcome to Vander Explains, a place where discussion, debate, and sharing of knowledge is encouraged. Well, enough said. Now let me take you in a deep dive and explain the origin, concept, and mechanics of geocaching. It began in May 2nd of 2000, at around midnight Eastern Standard Time, when an event called the Great Blue Switch happened. This was when 24 GPS satellites orbiting the Earth got new orders and were now available for civil and public use. Before that, GPS was strictly used under secure channels for government and national security purposes. As soon as the switch happened, the accuracy of GPS technology improved tenfold, and thousands of GPS receivers at that time got an instant upgrade. With the new technology available in the palm of their hands, one person named Dave Ulmer wanted to test just how much better GPSs have become. On May 3rd, just a day after the event, Dave decided to hide a secret stash somewhere in the woods. He posted this online in a GPS users forum and called it the Great American GPS Stash Hunt. He placed a black bucket in the woods near Beaver Creek, Oregon, USA, with a logbook, pencil, and some prizes, including videos, books, a slingshot, and a can of beans, to name a few. On the forum, he posted a waypoint containing the latitude and longitude coordinates that led to his stash. He also set some ground rules. Once the stash was found, you were allowed to exchange some of the contents for one of your own for the next lucky treasure hunter. His theory was simple. If GPS technology was indeed better and more accurate, then people with GPS receivers would be able to locate his stash. In just 3 days, 2 different readers used their own GPS receivers and managed to locate his stash, one of them being Mike Teague. Mike decided to share details of his experience and express how fun it was for him to find the stash. This then led to more people hiding and posting coordinates to their respective stashes, and just like that, a new phenomenon was born. Mike decided to document, record, and collect all of the interesting stories and posts that people put up and compiled it all in his homepage. His homepage quickly grew and became the hub of the GPS Stash Hunt, where discussions of the novel activity run rampant. One such discussion was a poll to rename the activity to make it catchier and more succinct. On May 30th, 2000, one of the members of the GPS Stash Hunt mailing list, Matt Stum, coined the term geocaching, and the rest quickly ran with it. Another reader of Mike's blog post was a web developer named Jeremy Irish, who adopted geocaching and took it to the next level. He devoted more time into this hobby and decided to create a website, geocaching.com, together with Mike's guidance. Nearing the end of the year 2000, Mike decided to fully pass the torch on to Jeremy. Geocaching quickly spread through online means and word of mouth, and the rest was history. To this day, Jeremy Irish, accompanied with fellow developers Elias Alvern and Brian Roth, continue to operate the website under their company Groundspeak. Geocaching really went viral in the 2000s and 2010s. They amassed more and more users worldwide and reached 1 million active geocaches around the globe. People considered geocaching as their leisurely pastime activity, as it was a great way to go outdoors and meet new people. Several worldwide caching events were also set up. These were normally time-limited events promoting a specific theme or delivering a specific message. It got to the point where an extraterrestrial cache was sent to the International Space Station in 2008. where one lucky individual managed to confirm and log this geocache in 2013 when it was brought back to Earth. Having said that, ever since the smartphone tech boom of 2010, geocaching has suffered a decline in users and activity. People were naturally more interested in the new sensation of touchscreen smart devices that can perform outrageous tasks in the palm of their hands. Due to this, a lot of veteran geocachers have since retired and the activity itself became lesser known to new people. This did not stop the team at Groundspeak. Determined to keep up with the ever-changing tech landscape, they decided to release the geocaching app in 2013 and revamping it in 2016. The concept of treasure hunting was successfully implemented in an app setting, and users can now rely on their smart devices' inbuilt GPS system to participate in the activity. You could even say that geocaching might be the inspiration of similar AR gaming titles like Pokemon Go, Ingress, Jurassic World Alive, and many more, although these have far and wide garnered more attention and users. In comparison, it is estimated that there are 4 million active geocaches worldwide in over 190 countries, with roughly 3 million active users, while Pokemon Go has roughly 87 million active users and about 26 million active monthly players. But let's step away from the stats for a little bit and look into why I think geocaching is still a great activity to try at least once in your life. Well, for starters, the activity is being played in the real world with real caches hidden around your neighborhood. It makes you feel like a kid again, enjoying the thrill of the hunt, solving and reading clues to find the cache. Geocaching also makes you voluntarily exercise and go outdoors. In this day and age, I think you could agree with me in saying that sometimes we all just need to touch grass and reconnect with the world, especially given that most activity nowadays is being done digitally. Another reason why geocaching is great is that it takes you to places you never knew existed. Most caches are hidden in places that have some form of significance to the geocacher hiding them. Whether they share story, memory, enjoy the view, or educate you, there is always a reason why the cache is being hidden there. One of the caches that I found was called the Duke of Clarence. It told the story of why the pub where the cache was hidden was named after the Duke. Learning tidbits like this was really interesting to me, and I'm sure caches near you will also have interesting stories to share. I also met some people who saw me caching, and we ended up having a conversation about it. It was such a great feeling sharing this quirky interest to strangers. Geocaching can also be a family activity. A lot of the stories that I've read researching for this video has shown me that it can be enjoyed with anyone you want. Whether you're doing it solo or in a group, it doesn't matter. Best of all, it's free. There is a premium that you could pay to unlock more challenging caches, but for the most part, you can certainly enjoy this for free. One last point for me to make is that geocaching is available for you to pick up right away. With millions of caches worldwide, I can almost guarantee that there is a cache somewhere near you right now. Or heck, even if you're traveling to different cities or countries, you could also geocache there. Well, I hope you're hooked now. So let's move on to the next few things to discuss. One being the geocaching etiquette. This isn't really a set rule or law. It's more of a socially accepted rule that geocachers aim to uphold. First is to bring a pen or pencil. This is done to log your username, today's date, and several few details into the logbook. Next is to leave no trace of your visit. Please do not disrupt the area leading up to finding the cache. And most of all, no littering or destruction of property. Third is to log your geocache experience on the app, writing down what you found most exciting without revealing too much. And last is to leave the geocache back exactly how you found it. This is so that the next geocachers will experience the exact same game as you did. Now you could also put in your own personal item in exchange for an item inside the geocache, but that's up to your personal preference. There also have been some group of misfits who intentionally break these unwritten rules. A group called the Geopoopers. Yes, you heard that right. They are people who go and find caches not only to log their finds, but also leave their poop in the cache sites. Another is a group called the Geo Smashers, who intentionally find caches, break them into pieces, leaves a calling card, and posts their vandalous acts online. These individuals are few and far between, so I wouldn't worry too much about them. But just in case you try geocaching, be mindful of those rules and stay alert. Having said all that, there are some safety checks that you should do to ensure a safe and pleasant geocaching experience. Most caches are hidden in relatively reachable areas. However, some of the more challenging caches might lead you to a harder route or tougher terrain to traverse. It is always better to be safe than sorry, so if you feel like a certain cache might be too hard to get, best to check the hints section on the app. It might reveal an easier route to attain the cache. If it's still too hard then, it might be best to look for other caches. There have been cases of geocachers getting sick, infected by certain diseases like tetanus, or even in rare occasions, death. So please have a first aid kit in your bag when you go out geocaching in remote rural areas. Maybe consider wearing gloves, bring a mask, some alcohol wipes, and some water. I could go on and talk about those geocaching mishaps or even tell stories about how geocachers solve mysteries, but that could be a whole other video. If you're interested in that, please leave a comment and I might just do it if enough people are interested. Well, I hope you can weigh in the pros and cons yourself after listening to this video. It really is a great recreational activity to do solo or with a group, and one that I recommend trying at least once in your life. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, please leave a like and possibly consider subscribing to the channel. Let me know down in the comments what you think of the video and recommend me some other topics to research and explain. For now, this is Vander, stay safe, and I'll see you on the next one.